Welcome to our update. This is our fourth take. So we haven't done this for a while.
7 in the morning.
So we haven't. The three of us haven't actually had. It's amazing. We live in the same city and run the same company together, but we hardly ever see each other. So it's nice to be able to come together and update you on what's been happening with all things CreateFuture. So Nathan, would you like to tell us about becoming a teacher for a day?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, one day enough for me. I'm exhausted by the end of it. So we're proud members of BIMA. BIMA have a great initiative called Digital Day. This is the third year we've done it, partnered up with the Leith Academy. And we go in and we'll work with about 30 kids. Take over for the whole day, try and convince them to consider a career in digital, let them know what the opportunities are, different careers that are available to them, what it's like to work in this industry. But the fun part is we work through 3 mini briefs. They get to pick ones. This year they were on wearable technology and pets and VR and AI. They came up with some great solutions. It's really good. We took them through some of the processes, but really they just let their imaginations run wild.
The police visor idea was class.
Yeah, that was good. A little authoritarian, but
interesting. The teenagers were going, we want the police to be able to use CCTV in their
also the social conscious in the kids was really great as well. The winning idea was around something to help homeless people with clothing and connecting people to be more effective in donating clothes, and so that was great to see. And last week we had the sprint workshop. Was it last week before? Anyway, it was 30 odd companies in the studio space next door. It was great. So we're big fans of GV sprints. We banged on about them before. Just to give something back, we offered a half-day free training. There's a really great response to it.
Yeah, it worked really well.
Companies, agencies, individuals came down. We kind of went through why we like them and what they're good for, but the main part was to run through a super condensed sprint, just giving people a chance to try the kind of main techniques and exercises like journey mapping and note and votes and solution sketches and things. And it was great. It was good. Considering doing one in London in the new year. So if you're interested, can you get in touch and we'll scope it out, because I'm just looking into it right now. So that was good. On the work front?
On the work front, we have been quite busy since the last time we chatted. Continued working with lots and lots of great brands, many on their 4th and 5th project with Penguin, a huge project with Expedia going live in February. One of the big ones, though, that has just gone live is Reddington, who, if you're not in that world, they're a very big pensions advisory. They've got 400 billion under advisement, and they were going through a new stage of growth, looking at the proposition and wanting to know whether the brand was fit for purpose. So we went through a strategy process with them over the last year, rebranded with them, just relaunched their website, and they have also just moved into a 200-person office, taking over an entire floor in a brand new building in the centre of Bank, like literally peeling the plastic off stuff. And it's how does the brand live in an environment? So, incredible to take something through from proposition for the next 5 to 15 years.
It's really nice walking into the new office last week and seeing it all on the walls, and the little detail, how they've taken the brand strategy and the new design, but actually they're living it now and applying it themselves. It's really good to see.
It's incredible. Yeah. And Jess,
Brilliant.
What have you been up to?
I've been gallivanting again.
Swanning around
in Lisbon. So I got the opportunity to go to Web Summit in Lisbon last week. Because they were having a big push to get women in technology involved in the conference. So I got a cheap ticket, which is part of the reason that I decided to go. So it's great being surrounded by lots of technologists, but actually, surprisingly, a lot of the themes were a bit softer, a bit more the societal impact of technology. So the big hitters were AI. So almost every talk there was mention of AI, but less about the tech behind it, more about how it's impacting on people's lives in healthcare and food production, those kind of things. Autonomous vehicles. So the Waymo CEO announced that they've now got a fleet of cars, actually working. They had a car on stage, so that was kind of cool. Similarly, Intel, their technology. Cryptocurrencies, lots of talk about, so the founder of Ethereum was a few of the talks that I saw. talking about ICOs, which are initial coin offerings, and utility tokens, which
What are utility tokens?
utility tokens. It's like the meter you put for your recce.
So you get your washing done.
If anyone can explain it to me, please give me a shout. It's not for lack of trying. I've done a lot of reading on it. Still don't understand it.
Did you see the first AI church has opened?
Oh, really?
The idea being that when the singularity and the AI overlords come, that they're going to be nice to the people who were good to them.
So, Gareth, our man behind the camera, was actually working on a really interesting side project recently as well. So do you want to come in and talk about that? Yeah, I'll swap places. Bye. Let's see.
Hey.
Hiya.
Yeah, so as part of the Drums Do It Day this year, I've been working with the Campaign Against Living Miserably, which is a male suicide prevention charity, which is pretty heavy, but it's such a worthy cause, so it was really cool to be involved. And at Do It Day, their challenge was not to get people coming forward and saying, I need help, I have a problem, but to get others to check in on their mates and make sure they're okay, and to get guys talking about it. So we honed it in on this insight that being a best man is something in a guy's life where it's one time where somehow it's like okay to be emotionally connected to your best friend and tell people that you love them. And we kind of wanted to work out why guys don't just say those things to their friends all the time and look after them and care about them. So we devved up a video campaign which launched on Do It Day, which I'll put a link to somewhere around here. You can all go and watch. It's pretty funny, but it's got a really nice message.
It's really lovely.
Really
it's
awesome.
Good. Yeah.
And it was cool. We got 19,000 views on Facebook in the first 8 hours and 10,000 on Twitter. So yeah, and like Joe Media and Spotify and lots of like bought-in media. So it was really cool. So that's what I've been
done, man. And we love you.
Cheers. Thanks.
Okay, so that's us. Thank you for watching, and as always, any comments or feedback, then let us know.
Absolutely.